REDflash products are primarily designed to measure reaction speed in combat sports. Smart pads and kicking shields are based on sensory responses, improving the athlete's concentration and speed. One of our most important senses is vision. It is a must to react as quickly as possible to visual stimuli in combat situations, i.e., to spot surfaces that can be attacked and to execute the action without a moment's thought. Perception is a higher level process that takes from sensing the time it takes for the brain to pick up and process the signal, i.e., to recognize the stimulus and to respond to it as quickly as possible based on the training. What is quickness? A skill that allows an athlete to perform a sequence of movements at the highest speed under given conditions. Of course, the question arises, at what level can it be developed? The neurotransmitter capacity of our nervous system and the type of muscle fibers we have are genetically determined. However, if we look in detail at the components of a response reaction, we see that a response can be simple or optional, and its stages are the appearance of the stimulation in the sense organ, the transmission of the stimulus to the central nervous system, the passage of the stimulus through the nervous system, the development of the action program, the path of the stimulus from the center to the muscle, the stimulation of the muscle to perform the response reaction. In the case of using forcing measures to manage just a tiny improvement in each of the sub-processes, the end result can generate tenths of a second of improvement, and we all know this blink of an eye often decides games. REDflash is an innovative enforcement device that provides feedback with hundredths of a second accuracy. The coach gets exact results, which he can use to control the preparation process and adapt and improve his methods and tools. Practicing one-punch techniques on an on-the-wall smart pad. When training alone, the coach and the athlete are the same person. The coach's job is to define the exercise, control it, and record the result. The athlete's task is to perform the exercise in the shortest time with the best technical execution. To improve the speed of straight punches, the athlete should be positioned facing the REDflash smart pad in a fighting stance. In the first situation, start by practicing the left straight in the punching distance using a set of 10 punches. We need to react as quickly as possible to the light signal. Then, with short rests, repeat this set of 10 punches 4 to 5 times. Then continue by practicing the right straight with the same number of sets. During the training, it is worth returning several times for 1-to-1 sets to the smart pad to get closer to the best result. If reaction time and concentration deteriorate significantly after a higher workload, the athlete needs to develop aerobic capacity further. The correct execution of the technique is the responsibility of both the coach and the athlete. Achieving better time should only be achieved through the use of properly executed techniques. After practicing straights, let's move on to practicing bent arm punches, uppercuts and hooks. After practicing each punch in punching distance, step outside the punching distance and hit the smart pad stepping in on every signal. The movement structure, coordinated with the footwork, requires much more concentration. Our results will not be the same as inside the punching distance. Even after this, we can still level up by stepping in from a continuous fighting movement and hitting the smart pad with the technique set by the coach. Practicing one-punch techniques on a bag-mounted smart pad. The exercise for the next level is performed with a device attached to a bag. In this case, the device is also set in motion by each hit. The athlete has to follow the moving bag and react as quickly as possible with the technical element defined. To improve the accuracy of individual punches, the Smart Punching Wall with 7 touchpads is an excellent device. The REDflash Smart Punching Wall contains 10 programs. The first program can be set for 15 to 30 seconds, where after one touchpad flashes and is put out, it is immediately followed by another one. The aim is to put out the light of as many touchpads as possible during the selected interval. This program has the ability to get athletes ready for fights in a remarkable way. They become sufficiently explosive as they prepare the nervous system to react quickly. It also helps develop hand-eye coordination and peripheral vision. For the second program of the Smart Punching Wall, you can choose the number of repetitions in the same way as for the pads, i.e. a set of 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50 punches. Since there are 7 touchpads, the random signal can be activated on any of these 7 touchpads. In other words, we will receive the forcing signal at an unpredictable time and place to which we must respond. It requires a high level of concentration and is an excellent way to improve accuracy. To practice the next level, the active presence of a partner or coach is now essential. We will continue the training with the REDflash standard smart pad. Even when using this device, we can practice and train on several levels. At basic level, the coach sets the pad for a set of 10 or 20 and then, without moving, positioning himself opposite the athlete after each flash and hit, changes the position of the shield so they must react with a different kind of punch. The exercise of choice response in a force situation requires a heightened concentration that is close to real fight situations. This is even more true at the next level, where the athlete has to keep moving, dancing around the coach and responding to the signal with the right punch. At a higher level, the coach is constantly on the move as well. It's even more complex when the coach also attacks the athlete during the movement. Parrying these attacks and then counter-attacking is a very complex task. The REDflash standard smart pad helps the athlete to react to a random signal with a given technical element during a fighting movement, imitating real fights. The role of the coach is also crucial in this situation, as a properly trained coach can prepare the athlete for a fight by constantly changing the dynamics of the fighting movement. He can add to the realism of the fighting situation by placing the REDflash smart pad on different areas of the body to force the ideal technique out of the athlete. So you can see that the possibilities for using REDflash pads are endless. In the following, we'll look at the use of combinations. The effectiveness of punch combinations depends largely on proper training and practice. How can we use REDflash pads for this purpose as well? Take simple combinations: left straight, or left straight, right hook. On the flashing light signal, hit the left straight without hitting the pad and hit the target service as fast as possible with the right hand. This speeds up the whole sequence of movements. You can even use a combination of 3 or 4 punches with this method, or even a parry and a counteraction, dodge and counterattack. The only limit to combinations you can use is your imagination. The other programs on the Flash Red Smart Punching Wall from the 3rd to the 9th contain punch combinations. Each combo is run 10 times using combinations of 3 and 4 punches. After starting the program, a demo will show you where to place your punches. Then after a few seconds, it will measure the time from the first flash to the last signal was put out, and averages the speed of your combination. It's also practical to practice the use of the combination accelerated on a smart punching wall on a training partner immediately after using the smart punching wall. Program 10 on the wall runs each combination once. Of course, the demo will first show you what to hit in this case too. It's almost impossible to lose interest in this program. It requires a high level of concentration, creativity, and adaptability. Speed endurance development. The long sets of 40 to 50 punches are recommended for athletes at the advanced level, as they need to react as quickly as possible with a well-executed technique and constant concentration for 2-3 minutes. Long sets can also be used in many different ways. In almost all applications, the ability to concentrate, react quickly, and tolerate monotony improves, just like endurance. For long sets, we can also use different levels, because in this case, it does not matter whether the techniques are applied from inside the punching distance, outside the punching distance, or while moving. Building stamina with REDflash products. To develop strength, the pads or even the wall is used by the athlete. For example, jumping down to a push-up position after the signal, then resuming the fighting stance and punching the smart pad. Any exercise can be inserted between the signal and the movement of putting it out with the given technical element. The athlete can do arm bending before the punch, but also squats, squat jumps, any abdominal exercise, or punching the pad after touching any object a few steps away. Such exercises are very effective in improving stamina. Warm up, cool down, play with REDflash smart pads. Any coach who works with children knows that sometimes it can be a challenge to keep the children's attention. In today's digital world, we can make monotonous exercise more interesting for children with an interactive device. In a warm-up, for example, they run from a few steps to a light signal, reacting with a certain technique, even in competition with each other. The number of variations of the game is also up to the imagination of the coach. E.g., you can do a push-up before the punch, or a crouch, or crab walk to the pad and punch it, or even a 360-degree turn before you punch, or anything that will get the mood going. It's safe to say that adult groups enjoy these games too. Use of smart kicking shields. Everyone's first impression of smart kicking shields is that you are kicking with full force. But more important is the rhythm of the movement and the correct technical execution. Using the REDflash smart kicking shield, the coach and the athlete get an objective view of the dynamics and the pace of the kicks. In this case too, the right fighting stance is an important aspect. We need to look for the origin of the triad of balance, stability, agility, which varies from individual to individual. When practicing with the REDflash smart kicking shield, the first practice standing upright from a stable position, concentrating on correct technical execution. Of course, the different kicking techniques are a separate set of exercises. By changing the position of the smart kicking shield, the coach can ask his student to use different kicking techniques. Then we can move on to practicing the techniques from the fighting movement. In any case, it's always a good idea to start with a set of 10 or 20 first. The 30, 40, 50 sets of flashes can be rather used to develop speed endurance. The REDflash Smart Punching Wall can also be used to practice kicks. Using the punching wall with your feet is already an advanced level, which can be improved with regular practice. What else can we use REDflash products for? We already know that we can develop all of the conditioning skills and the intersections of these skills. In addition, a big advantage of REDflash pads and shields is that you get accurate feedback on the status of your students' skills. For example, look at the reaction time of an athlete after a heavy workload, approaching the maximum heart rate. The difference between the measurement at rest and the measurement after a load can lead to some serious conclusions. We can also make good use of the pads and shields and the wall for selection. For those who have the opportunity to recruit in primary schools, they can be of great help in recruiting. It's easier to engage children with such an interactive tool, not to mention easier for the coach to discover talent. Continuous practice of techniques with the REDflash products will result in fast and dynamic punches and kicks. And we know that a fast, dynamic punch or kick is much more effective than a technique achieved by force. In most cases, the use of maximum force reduces speed, accuracy, and coordination. The use of REDflash pads and shields helps apply more dynamic, faster techniques at the right place and time.